let me ask you about one more theory before we break for this session. We can have you on at another point. It's been great talking. Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with the theory of Jennifer Freud's called institutional betrayal?
I know you've mentioned it to me, but I don't know all the details. So tell me a little bit about it.
Well, I don't know all the details either, but I think what she isolated was that people who have been betrayed by institutions that have a responsibility of care, like a hospital, for example, or if you trust a sense-making organ like your newspaper, and then you find that you've been betrayed by that institution that had something of like a principal agent problem where you had to trust your agent in order to take care of you, that the quality of trauma is in fact different, and that it leads to a universal fear of the infrastructure of your society. That's sort of what I picked up. What I was going to ask you about is, given our central belief that there was something about growth that led to universal betrayal by institutions, which has compromised experts in the minds of most people. Do you think there's a preferred way of waking up as a society out of a kind of universal institutional betrayal? If we're excited about the next chapter, what I'd love to talk to you about in a future episode is what we're excited about what comes next. Is there a way of waking up from this most gracefully?
Don't know about that. It strikes me that there are ways we don't want to wake up. And we don't want to wake up in a way where it de-energizes us and demotivates. And so, so I think one of the ways I think these institutions worked was, they took care of people, but it was also, motivational. You study, you get good grades, you'll succeed in our system.
Right.
And so one way, when you sort of deconstruct these institutions, there's sort of one direction that I think is always very dangerous, that it just shifts people into sort of a much more nihilistic, very low energy mode where it's just, well, there's no point, nothing can be done, and that's the way that's the way that I definitively do not want to wake people up. And so I think it has to always be coupled a little bit to, there are these paths that aren't really going anywhere, and you shouldn't go down these paths. But then there's some other paths here that you need to take. There's a portal here that you need to look at. And if we are just saying all the paths are blocked, I think probably the risk is people just sit down where they are and stop moving altogether. And that feels like the very wrong way to wake people up.
That sounds very wise.